Hello, Martin Camden here, video number 4. Now, the first 3 videos have been sort of spontaneous, off-the-cuff stream of consciousness. This one, I've written 9 pages of notes, 9 pages of notes. So this could be a long one, but, my sort of, in my little world, I have a man who does, all my little sort of complicated jobs. He's a guy called Rajesh. He lives in southern India, and I'm going to get him to break this very long video down into little segments with subtitles. So, occasionally I might mention in passing, right, we're moving from one topic to another. So, Rajesh and my editor, please, put the whole video on YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, and but also chop it into chunks with suitable titles. Now, the title for the whole of this presentation, scripted with a few notes, is something I'm aiming for, a certain kind of world peace. The world peace is advocated by Nichiren Buddhism, and in Nichiren was a Buddhist priest in ancient Japan, and I won't go into the detail, but what they're aiming for is world peace through individual happiness, and they call it Kosen Rufu. I want Kosen Rufu to become a buzzword across the planet. I don't know what Kosen Rufu means, precisely, word by word, in ancient Japanese. But what it means, in a nutshell, is world peace through individual happiness. Now, what this means, in my mind, is that every individual can celebrate their own unique individuality, and each individual seeks happiness or achieves happiness in their own individual way. Mind you, some people may be loners, getting happiness in their individual way. And some people may form into groups of similar-minded people, groups of 100, groups of 1,000, groups of 10,000, 100,000, a million. It doesn't matter how small or big, but each individual or group, or individual or family or community or country or nation, well, everyone is so is so satisfied, not, a problem in this world is disgruntlement. Almost everyone, maybe not everyone, but almost everyone is disgruntled in one way or another. For different reasons, but now, in the world peace that I envisage, there will be no disgruntlement. Everyone will be happy enough, and they're happy enough in their own domain not to worry about what's going on elsewhere. So the main thing that will disappear is grass is greener syndrome. An example of this is feminism. The female collective, as it were, thought, they looked at the man's world and they thought the grass was greener. Now, a very large number of women are now saying, well, the grass wasn't greener, the grass was different, suitable for some and not for others. And a lot of women say, we've been betrayed by feminism. We've been lied to. Our lives are totally fucked up because we swallowed the feminist lie. And I'll come on to this, but swallowing lies, swallowing plausible half-truths is a massive, massive problem that I'll come on to. Back to Kosen Rufu, world peace. What will a peaceful world look like? Well, I have 4 words here written down to the title for this whole presentation. We are aiming for peace, harmony, congeniality, and conviviality. Now, I love those 4 words. Now, one thing though, I think we're in the world, in the eventual world order, peace and harmony, etc., we're still going to be divided into nations, and those nations are going to have different characteristics. Fine, but again, there shouldn't be too much grass is greener syndrome. But perhaps those that want to move from one culture to another should be facilitated in doing so, at the family level. I mean, much like in the United States and this federation, in theory, one should be able to, if you don't like the setup in one state, you can move to a state that's more congenial to your particular family style. I mean, take abortion. I mean, people are saying, well, okay, if you can't get abortion in your state, move to a state where abortion is extremely, liberalised. But I don't know. I mean, I think when it comes to that kind of issue, well, I'm not going to I'm not going to touch the abortion debate in this video, except I want to create a world where people, aren't polarised, aren't at each other's throats over this issue or that issue. I'll come into this about negotiation for compromise skills, and not just any old compromise, but compromises that can stick, and be long lasting, But I'll come into that. So with these different nations, I've written down my notes. Do as the Romans do. Now, I'm going to come up with an extreme example here. Some people seem to think debauchery is okay. I mean, okay, I don't mean to have a go at gay people. Most gay people, I know are wonderful in one way or another. Just like, straight people can be, appalling in one way or another. But, I mean, it bothers me when gay people have orgies with the intention of everyone catching AIDS. Well, that's sort of going too far for me. And but in the UK, they're relying on the NHS. If they get AIDS, free healthcare will keep them alive. Now, if the taxpayer said, well, no, we're not, people with AIDS, we're not going to keep them alive, then these people are into gay orgies, and so they want to catch AIDS so that they can then have more orgies without, they've already got AIDS, so they have more AIDS. Once they've got it, so they can have more orgies. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on this. A massive example is there might be one nation where debauchery is sort of seen as, well, liberal. If, whatever floats your boat, if debauchery, a bit of a strong word, degeneracy, debauchery floats your boat, fine. And there might be another nation at the opposite extreme, debauchery, absolute no-no. I mean, an example of no-no is the, I don't know, do people know about the I don't know how to pronounce it, the Amish, the Amish in America, this strict religious grouping, and they don't allow anyone to have fun. Having fun is not allowed. Parties not allowed. Singing is not allowed. All the women have to dress the same. All the men have to dress the same. Mind you, one interesting about the Amish is they allow their kids, when they get to about 18, they allow their kids to spend a year in the sort of quotes normal world, and if they prefer the normal world, they can stay there. And if they sort of want to make the sacrifices necessary to be, to sustain the Amish community, they can come back again. I mean, one wonderful thing about the Amish community, I mean, there's lots of things that people would condemn. One wonderful thing is when people get married, the whole community builds them a brand new house, a brand new log cabin, sort of really fit for purpose, wonderful log cabin house. So isn't that wonderful? You never have to worry about a roof over your head. You get married, the whole community builds you a new, log cabin house, whatever. So for you to have family life, husband, wife, and however many children, whatever. Okay, I've got that out of the way, have I? so to recap, the title of the whole presentation is how to get to how to fulfill on the desire for a world where there's peace, harmony, congeniality, and conviviality, and different nations, with different sort of like ways of doing things, but well, common morality. There's a big problem where there's more than one morality. Moralities clash, and Professor Peterson and I very much believe in the power of behaving ethically. Now, it is always possible to behave ethically, but what actually fucks things up is morality in collision. And So, one way forward is global Islamification, where we have a single morality for the whole planet. Another way forward is we have nations with different moralities, but within those nations, we have downward pressure on morality clash. Thank you. Right, that's phase one. So for editing purposes, what I've said so far can be put up on YouTube as a single segment. Right. Now, moving on to the next stage, right? Okay, now this is going to be interesting. Right, I'm going to make this assertion that, it's impossible to make a mistake. Nobody can make a mistake. Well, okay, far-fetched. Well, I want people to trust me on this one and try and believe, try and brainwash yourself, get some hypnosis if necessary, into believing, or I mean, a bit like Louise Hay Affirmations. What's the most typical affirmation? Every day you look in the mirror, you brush your teeth in the morning, look in the mirror. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Which is a sort of brainwashing, isn't it? But it works. It works well. If it's done properly over time, it works. It disables the inner critic, that little voice in your head that's always telling you you're a bad little boy. Anyway, so brainwashers would get some hypnosis if necessary, or what affirmation could you do? Just when you brush your teeth, look in the mirror. Do you know? I think Martin may have a point. Maybe there's no such thing as a mistake. I'll give an example. My first attempt at this video number 4, I accidentally recorded it on my smartphone instead of doing. In an unthinking moment, I recorded it on my smartphone instead of on Facebook Live. I then, the shenanigans I went through a thing. Oh my God, I made a mistake, and the shenanigans I went to. But actually, it's turned out not to be a mistake, because between then and now, I have learnt so much, and also I've written extensive notes in much better notes, and also I've written my notes in a pen.